course, the app can be downloaded from the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. To enter the app, all you need to do is enter your email address. So in this case, I'll put in my email address. Once you have entered your email address, you click login, and that takes you directly into the portal. Now, at the top, you're going to see the location field. Now, if you can't find your pole number, what we encourage persons to do is to actually get the pole number. If you can't find the pole number, there's a location option that if you click it, it will just take you to where the nearest pole is supposed to be. But in this case, I'm going to just enter a random pole number. Of course, the pole number is that yellow tag on the pole, the alphanumeric tag. It has 3 letters and 3 numbers. So whether you've entered your pole number or you've selected the nearest location, you come down to the assets that you would have to then determine the condition of these assets. So under the pole field, you will see that the options are good, leaning, rotten, damaged, check required, or fallen. Based on the condition of the pole, you would select the most appropriate option. So if I'm doing a damage assessment, and in this case I'm going to select damaged as the option for the pole. You're going to then come down to the transformer. For those of you who may not know what a transformer looks like, or even you may not know what the pole looks like, we've provided some pictorial representations of what these assets are supposed to look like. So you can see, even with the pole, you can see the vertical icon with the 2 crossbars. The transformer is sometimes you will see like a gray can on the pole. That is what we call a transformer. So for the transformer options, we have good, bad, not applicable, and check required. Because I know what a transformer is, I'll say that the transformer in this case is good. The conductor is simply the power line. In this case, you would select if the power line is good or bad. Of course, if it's broken or down, it will be bad. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to say that the conductor is good. The street light for this assessment, I would say, is not good. So I'm going to leave it as no. Is the pole accessible by utility truck? This is important because we need to understand if we would need to do a further drone assessment, or if we can dispatch our crews to further assess the damage. So I would say in this case that the pole is indeed accessible by a utility truck. Coming down, you're going to get some fields which are related to the dwelling of the customer. So in this case, you're going to say if the meter is good or bad. There's also the icon in the corner that can show you what the meter looks like. If you click on that icon, you'll get a bigger graphical representation of the meter. In this case, the meter is good. And if you can identify your meter number, you just enter it here. In this case, I'm going to put a random meter number. Alright, so this structural damage field asks the customer to identify if it's high, low, or no damage to the house. And in this case, I'm going to say that it is low. The roof condition. This helps to give us more information about the condition of your house. Of course, if your roof is fully intact, it would help us to determine if you'll be ready for installation. But in this case, I'm going to say that the roof condition is fully intact, yes. And we also ask if the house is a single story, a multi-story, or a 2-story house. And what happens is that sometimes after a natural disaster, you may have a 2-story house and the top story is missing the roof. However, the bottom story may still be intact. So even though the roof of your house is gone, we can come and still install power at the bottom story. So that helps us to determine if we can come and restore your power to you. So in this case, I'm going to say it is a 2-story. And I'm going to say yes, that my house is ready for install. Further down the fields, you will see that it asks you to provide additional details. So if you want to give us additional directions to your house, you can do that. There's also a field which asks the customer to identify their level of technical skills. So we would know then that if you have 0 technical skills, that we would definitely have to go and do a further assessment. And of course, at the bottom where you see choose file, you can take pictures of your house or of the pole or of the power line so that you could help us to get a more realistic assessment of what is out there. So once you've filled out all the fields, you will then submit. and it goes directly into our system for us to conduct further assessment. And that's basically what the customer needs to do in order to submit a damage assessment report.